that's in here, we have to be mindful that when the looks fade, when the body fades, the only thing that's left is their personality. The only thing that's left is their personality and their character. Let me give it to you again. We're talking about how to be attractive. How to be attractive. Let me tell you what makes you unattractive. Because in order to know how to be attractive, you have to understand what makes you unattractive. An unattractive person is a person that has, thank you, An unattractive person. Hey, Melissa, unattractive. You have to understand these are the context clues. An unattractive person is a person that is closed-minded. You can't talk to them. They always have to be right. They compete with you through conversation. They compete with you through energy. They compete with you for position. So they always have to show off. So when you're talking to a person and you're meeting a person and you tell them something about you or something about something that you've learned, they always want to either downplay what you're talking about or they want to say that they've learned something better and they want to minimize who you are. That's an unattractive person. Not only, Kania, is an unattractive person, those are the people that you don't want in your space. They are an infection. INFECTION. They are an infection to your space, and they are an infection to your peace. Yeah. Because people that want to compete in every level of life, some people think that that's attractive. They call them competitive spirit. Hey, Fuzzy, they call them competitive spirited people. Those are people that can't control their competitive nature. But they're the most dangerous. Why? Because those are the people that will carry a dagger around in their back pocket. Those are the people that will act as if, those are the people exactly that will act as if they're in your corner, but they can't wait for an opportunity to put you well beneath them because they want you to esteem them. ESTEEM. They want you to esteem them. Why? Because their esteem on the back end is so low. Their esteem is so low on the back end. They have low self-esteem. And people that have low self-esteem, listen to me. I'm talking about for those of us that's just coming in. I need y'all to get this. I'm talking about what makes a person unattractive, and these are the red flags that you look out for. The person that always wants to compete with what you're saying, compete with what you're doing, and they want to compete with where you are in your life. So people with low self-esteem, listen to this, and I want y'all to use this. People with low self-esteem will do anything to build their self-esteem, even at the cost of using you as a building block. Let me give it to you again. So when you identify somebody that always, when you tell them something about something great that's happening in your life, when you tell them something about how things are going in your life and they want to downplay it, you just got a promotion or you just got engaged or somebody tried to get your number, Say, for instance, that somebody try to get your number, they will come back and say, oh, yeah, I was in the mall. I was in the mall the other day, and so tried to get my number, and they pulled up in a Porsche, and they pulled up in a Lamborghini. They will always try to outdo you. It's the people that have a competitive spirit. They're like a flat tire. People that have a competitive spirit, they're like a flat tire that they always need an air pump to walk around with them. So that's what makes that person unattractive. And that's not the person that you want to date. Now get it. They're always trying to one up on you. Now get it. If you feel as if this is where we go wrong, this is where most people go wrong. This is where most people go wrong, is that we continue to give people credit. We continue to feed into their narrative by keep pumping them up. Oh yeah, you right. You right. No, you right. No. You keep them at arm's distance. Listen, you can't put your peace in a position of vulnerability. You can't put your peace on auction to the highest bidder who wants to take ownership of your peace. Let me give it to you again. Let me say it to the people in the back. It's Good Friday, right? So we're going to resurrect some things out of here. You can't put your peace on an auction block. Why? Because if you put your peace on an auction block, there's always going to be a higher bidder. Always. There is no shortage of people that won't auction or won't put a bid on your piece. There's no shortage of people out here. People are always desperate to put their hurt out on somebody. You know how they say hurt people hurt people? So those hurt people are always the highest bidder. Can I get I put this on that, I put that on that. They're bidding to control your piece. And all they want to do is control it so that they can dismantle it. You know, I never forget, I was looking at, you know, when the iPhone comes out, right? How many of y'all have those sorry iPhones? How many people and how many people have a sorry iPhone? Y'all know I said sorry iPhone. How many people have a sorry iPhone? I'll just Androids all day over here. But how many people got an iPhone? Put a heart in the chat. How many people got an iPhone? If you have an iPhone, put a heart in the chat. If you have an iPhone, Kania has an iPhone, Donna has an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, Val has an iPhone, a great iPhone. If you have an iPhone, put Joy has an iPhone. So what happens is, Breaker has an iPhone. What happens is that when people, Tony the Tiger. So what happens is that whenever there's an iPhone that comes out, you're not gonna believe this. Whenever there's an iPhone, a new iPhone that comes out, there are people that buy 2 iPhones. So whenever an iPhone is come out, there are people that first pre-order the iPhone, 2 of them, not just one. But thank you, Mickey. They buy 2. They buy 1 to use, and the second iPhone they buy it just to take it apart. Did you hear what I said? They buy the second iPhone just to dismantle it, to see what it's made of. The same way with you. They have everything in their life that's going on, but they are willing to pay whatever price whatever price it takes to take you apart so that they can see what you really are made of. That's the first thing that you want to what makes a person unattractive. So when you're dating somebody and they display a competitive nature, and their competitiveness equates to an equals the amounts in conversation, you don't want to date that person. The second thing that makes a person unattractive, because we got to know what makes you attractive before we can know what doesn't make you attractive. The second thing that makes a person unattractive is that they never want to take ownership of what they say, and they never want to take ownership of what they've done, and they never want to take ownership of what they're doing. That makes a person unattractive. So if you encounter somebody who's always pointing the finger at everybody else, put that in the chat right here, y'all. They never want to take ownership. Thank you, Val. If you encounter somebody that's always pointing the finger, they never have any mistakes, and they always act as if they're perfect, that's not the person that you want to be around, and that's not the person you want to date. That's not the person that you do, unless it's strictly business, and I really wouldn't even do business with them unless I had to. That's not the person that you want to volunteer being around, even if it's family. Why? Because my grandmother used to always say that when a person is a know-it-all, exactly, Mambo, exactly, Mickey, when a person is a know-it-all, a closed mind, right? A closed mind is never open to new ideas. Let me give it to you again. You don't want to be in their circumference because, first of all, it's narcissistic tendencies. And also, in addition to that, a closed mind can never entertain, embrace new ideas. So where you're trying to go and where you're trying to grow, because that person has a closed mind, you can't grow with them. And you don't want to be in fellowship, and proximity, and you don't want to be connected to a person that can't embrace any kind of growth. That's unattractive. That's unattractive. These are the people that's stuck in their ways, and you can't change them. And I'm going to speak to the older people. Right now, because one of the things that whenever I am involved in like dating panels or whenever I'm invited to speak and so on and so forth, it's an older person that will always ask, how can I get somebody? How can I find somebody? Or why is it that I can't get the person that I want? Or why is it that when I meet somebody, it typically doesn't work out? I'm going to talk to the older and younger, but specifically the older. Is that you can't allow the things that you've experienced in life, the things that you have gone through, to equate to stripes. That you've earned your stripes in the spiritual world, but you can't feel as if you're too experienced, or you can't feel as if you have arrived, so much so that you can't have fundamental fun. You can't have fundamental conversations, and you can't do fundamental things. Yeah. In other words, you can't be so stuck on what you've done and think that you have arrived. That makes you unattractive. You have to have room to grow, and you have to be still willing to take risk, even at an older age. You got to have some fun. You got to stretch a little bit. Shush a little bit. So these are the things that make you unattractive, that makes a person unattractive. The number one is what? Is that a person that wants to have a competitive spirit. That's what makes a person unattractive. When you date somebody that always wants to compete with who you are, they want to compete with your peace. The second thing is that another person that's unattractive is when a person they don't hold themselves accountable. That when a person doesn't hold themselves accountable, that means that they don't have a level of conviction. They don't have a level of conviction. So everything that they say, it always has to be right. So when they go out and cheat on you, be it emotionally, be it mentally, be it spiritually. So when they go out and cheat on you, they don't have any accountability. They're going to think it's okay. Yeah. And the second thing is that you don't want to have a person that's so closed-minded that they can't graft new ideas. Now, let's get to what makes you attractive. Let's get to the other element. And I encourage everybody on YouTube. I put up the new video. Make sure that y'all go look at the new video and you'll be able to catch them. Now, let's work on what makes a person attractive. The number one thing that makes a person attractive, I need you to get this. The number one thing for the believers is always a relationship with God. But for the non-believers, the number one thing that makes you attractive is a person that has purpose. It's not you per se that's attractive, but your purpose is attractive. Because when you find your purpose and when you have a purpose, then people will align with your purpose, and then people will gravitate towards you. People will love on you. Have you ever wondered when you look at people, like Dick Gregory, and when you look at people like that may not be the most attractive, but they always had people that was attracted to them. They always have people that was attracted to them. Why? Because they had a purpose. They weren't people. When you have purpose, people listen to what I'm saying to you. When you have purpose and when you function in your purpose, I'm going to give you three things. When you function in your purpose and your purpose is attractive and you stay in your own lane with your purpose, people don't worry about how old you are. People don't worry about how old you are. Patti LaBelle got a 36-year-old. When you are older, they don't look at that. When you operate in your purpose, people don't look at your deficiencies. They will manage through your deficiencies. Let me give it to you again. What makes a person attractive is not how flat your stomach is. It's not how big your muscles are. It's not how handsome you are. It's not about how pretty you are. It's about the purpose that you have. When you function in a purposeful life, the purpose that you're functioning in is the honey, and the bees will come. Again, I don't care how old you are. People will overlook your age. People will overlook your flaws. Because they will, you know what they will do? They will overlook your flaws and align with them. They will overlook them, align with them, and help you navigate through fixing your flaws or help you navigate through your confidence and not paying attention. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to look at it. One of my friends is Jamal Bryant, right? And he had Jamal Bryant when he was growing up is that he had orthopedic shoes, right? And so he had orthopedic shoes. So if you ever look at him when he walks, he had to wear correctional shoes. And even now, the way he walks on a tilt. But his wife that he has is everything. She's supportive. She's loving. They are a power team. Yeah, slew-footed. Yeah, slew-footed. He walks slew-footed. Exactly. When you look at Damon Wayans is slew-footed. He has a deficiency. But his purpose is what makes him attractive. Nobody is looking at your deficiency. The person that pays the deficiency most, who looks at the deficiency the most, who looks at our flaws the most, is ourselves. And nobody paying attention to your handicaps. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't even know your handicaps until you reveal them. A lot of people don't even look at your handicaps until you make it known. Yeah. I never, it's funny because sometimes, I remember I was on this date. I was on this date and we at the table and she never showed me her right hand. So when she was eating her bread, her right hand never came up. Her right hand never came up from beneath the table. She was always eating and doing everything with her left hand. Everything. Even when she went to pass the little glass, she did it with her left hand. So I asked her, I said, well, is everything okay? Is everything okay with your right hand and so on? With your right hand? She said, oh yeah, but because I chipped one of my nails. I chipped my nail and I didn't want you to see it. So she's hiding her nail. It's because she didn't want to show her right hand because of one nail. I'm saying to you that your flaws, or what you consider to be your flaws, is only magnified in your mind. It's only as big as you make it known to be. But when you function in your purpose, Cook, what is my purpose? Cook, what is my purpose? How can I function in my purpose, Cook? Coach Cook, how can I function in my purpose? I'm 45. I'm 50. I'm 30. Cook, how can I function in my purpose? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Because I don't have an answer. Let me give it to you again. I'm not the one that gave you the purpose. So you have to go to the one that put the purpose in you. That means that you have to pray tonight and say, God, I've been going through life all this time, and I want to function in my purpose. I've tried everything. I've tried to do everything that I'm supposed to do. I thought I was doing everything right, but obviously I'm not functioning in my purpose. And if I am functioning in my purpose, I need you to help guide me through it. I don't know what my purpose is, but you know, and you have to be willing to ask God, what's your purpose? Hey, Vivi, I don't have an answer for that. So you have to ask them. That's what makes a person attractive. So for all of those that's on here, you're going and thank you, Tiffany. You're for all of those that's on here and you're going through and you're trying to perfect yourself. For all of y'all that's going on and you're trying to perfect yourself, you're looking at, you want to do this with your body, you want to do that with your body, you want to do this, you want to, no. Because what good is perfecting your body when your inside is empty? Good God, I like how I said that. What good is a perfected outer body, but an empty inner body? What good is it? What good is it to have a great car, but it ain't got no engine? That means that it's worthless. So you have to begin to function in your purpose. And when your purpose is revealed, and people start gravitating towards you, you have to be able to control it because they will come. Why? Because they will want a piece of your purpose. There are going to be people that, because you found your purpose, that they're going to be people that's going to be so attracted that they're going to want to be seen with you. That's what it's going to bring out. They're going to want to be seen with you. There are some people that's going to want to steal some of your shine. So they're attracted to you, but they want to steal some of your shine. And there is probably one person out the group that really aligns with your purpose. But you'll never know until you begin to function. Thank you, Vivian. Until you begin to function in your purpose. I want to do a hard stop right here. If you're new, put a heart in the chat. I want to encourage each and every one of you. We talked about things to revisit these videos that I'm posting over and over again. Thank you, Viv. Thank you, baby. To revisit these videos over and over again, in case if you have to revisit. Thank you, babe. Because we talked about what makes a person unattractive, and then we talked about what makes a person attractive. Because so often people are wondering whether or not they are attractive. And I'm telling you, you are attractive. It's in you. You just have to bring it out of you. Make sure that you hit that follow button. Make sure that you hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. If you haven't had an opportunity to, just know that there is purpose in your life. All of us are born with a purpose. Know that you are attractive. Know that that who you are has meaning. And the worst thing that you can do is have somebody put a definition behind the meaning for your life. Know that there are some people that look up to you. And you got to carry that torch. You are attractive. You are. And don't let anybody try to strip you of that theory and try to strip you of that thought. It's not an hypothesis. No, it's not a guess. No, it's not. You are attractive. You are a child of God. I love you. Tomorrow, I see y'all YouTube. Make sure you hit that follow button. Tomorrow, listen to me, y'all.